Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Netzach Yisrael, Steencourt, Shir Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, Siman Tes, Sif Tes Zion. We're talking about a talus, and we're dealing with a situation where part of the talus has been torn off. Nechtach or Nichrach Konof, Nifra de Gamrim and a talus. Ve'im Bachaticha Zu Shloisha Gedulin Al Shloisha Gedulin. If the corners of the talus have been cut off completely, and the bit that's torn is less than 3 gedulin or thumb breadths in size, yesh orim, there are those who say shachaticha zu, this piece, afilu achar shatfara heitev ala talus, even if you sew it back into the talus, sula, it is possible milhatul bar sitzis. Sitzis cannot be attached to it. The kiven she'ein bar shloisha gedolin al shloisha gedolin ein oleh she'ein beged. Since it does not have 3 gedolin by 3 gedolin, it is not considered to be a beged in its own right, and therefore doesn't have tzitzis. Afilu in skabla in talus nechshava kaparod. Even if it's attached again to the talus, it's still considered to be separate. Yesh lahachmir kain, and the view of the Kitzur is we should be strict, and in that case, not put tzitzis on it. Avol, but if it's not completely separated from the talus, the small corner, as long as it's still joined even to the smallest extent, then if you re-sew it back, it's considered to be part of the talus. And the tzitzis which you put back after you've sewn it back will be clear. And an additional point, that there's a minhag to have, as we have, most of our talisos and most of our tzitzis have a separate patch on the corner. Because often you have a garment where there is a piece at the end which doesn't amount to the requisite size we've just learned. Therefore, therefore you put specifically a piece which is 3 gedolin by 3 gedolin on the end, in order that there should be a definite chiyuv of putting tzitzis on that garment. And therefore, as I say, in most cases we have this. You look at the end of your tzitzis, you'll see the patch which is there, and that makes it beyond doubt that there will always be a chiyuv of tzitzis. Sif Yud Zayin. Yesh Omrim. Some say Shebachol Hashetach Shal Hakonof Sharoy Lahatul Shomes Hatzitzia Dahainu Mimelo Kesha Goda Misfasa Talas At Shlosh Gedolim Shum Tefa Afilu Mashu Bechut Sharoy Lases Meachutin. Explain as follows: that you shouldn't sew any thread which is fit to be used as tzitzis for this talus in this whole area of the corner of the talus where you could tie tzitzis, i.e. the portion of the corner beginning from the middle joint up to the end of 3 thumb breadths from the edge. Going in a talus shel pishton lo yitva b'achute pishton rak b'achute meshi v'chadome. If the talus or the tzitzis is made from pishton, from flax, you shouldn't use chute pishton in that area. Rak b'chute meshi v'chadome, use something completely different. The talus shel meshi, if it's a silk talus, uncommon nowadays, lo yispru b'chute meshi, you shouldn't sew it with silk thread. The talus shel tzemeh lo yisbrena b'chute tzemeh, and if it's from wool, you shouldn't sew it with wool. Ela b'shel meshi v'chadome, but something different. And you should be strict not to use the same thread in the area around where you put the hole through, which very often on our tzitzis has a little ring to reinforce it. Like we have, for example, in a file, you have a ring binder and you have the little rings which go around to stop it being cut. Very often we have that on a talus as well, to stop the area where the tzitzis are being torn. That also should not be made out of the same material as we've stated above. This only applies if it's a white thread of a b'chut tzavua, ein lachosh. But if it's a coloured thread, we don't have to worry about it. Since we couldn't use a coloured thread for tzitzis, therefore there can be no confusion. Yod Ches. In right tzitzis min talas. You want to take off tzitzis from a talas kedei litlos by tzitzis acheros in order to put on new tzitzis, yotziyafos, which are better, or because one of the threads is snapped. The right litlos shlemos, and now you want to, even if it's still kosher, in the circumstances it's still kosher, you still may want to put on new ones because you want to have it lehidur. You want to do it as the best possible way. The first ones could still be kosher. You're allowed to do this. It's not in any way undermining what's already there. It's not cancelling the fact that this garment, this talas has tzitzis by taking them off. The reason why you're putting them on, the new ones, is to do the mitzvah in a better way, which is Yosei Yafais. Only condition is you have to be careful not to put the old ones into a disrespect, dispose of them in a disrespectful way. So the main thing to do is nowadays we don't treat them as shemas, but we wrap them in a bag, in a plastic bag, and put them in a bin, as long as they don't become mottles, they don't get very, very dirty and unpleasant. It's also permitted to put them in the recycling for clothing. That's also a respectful way of disposing of them. Your test. Even if the tzitzis are possible, they're Siman taken away. Still, lo yizrakein ashba. You're not allowed to throw them in a disrespectful way. We should bizu mitzvah because they've been used for a mitzvah. Yesh medaktim gonzon b'sefer, lasis mehem Siman b'sefer. There was an old minhag whereby the apostles' tzitzis would be used as a bookmark in a sefer because of the concept of mishum isavid behu mitzvah chada zimna. Since you've already done a mitzvah once, lisavid by mitzvah acharita, you can do another mitzvah with them as well. Same kind of idea we find that people use, for example, the lulav, the old lulav from last Sukkot, they use it for schach for the next year. So also you do carry on the thread of doing mitzvahs here as well by using it as a bookmark in a sefer. Become a talus in yashin, and the talus itself, which has become old, when you're no longer wearing it for a talus mitzvah, you can't use it for something which is you can't make, for example, a cleaning cloth out of it, or something which is a bizoi, which degrades the mitzvah which has been done with it. So Yod Ches is talking when it's still kosher, and Yod Tes is talking about even if it's become possible. Kof. Bar Shabbos the Beis HaKnesses. You come to Shul on Shabbos and Motzah Shenifsala sits in a talas, and you find that one of them has snapped. It's become possible. But Ein Motzei Lishah Talas Acher, and you can't find another talas to wear. Whom is biased to Shabbos below talas, and it's embarrassing to sit in Shul on Shabbos morning without a talas. Since you can't repair it, you can't put on the new tzitzis because that will be malacha of kosher. Therefore, it's because of the basic human dignity, to avoid the embarrassment of sitting in shul without a talos. You're allowed to wear it even though it's not possible, even though it's possible. But you're not allowed to make a bracha on it. So that's the heter to carry on wearing it, even though it's possible. At that particular point, there's a shaila that you shouldn't probably carry it, can wear it in the street, because that may be considered to be carrying if it's possible, depending on what the exact situation is. When does all that apply? When you didn't know before Shabbos that it was possible. Now you come to shul, you find it's possible. If you knew before Shabbos that it was possible, also the love shah, you're not allowed to put it on Shabbos. Because you should have sorted it out beforehand and made it kosher. So it's a kind of disincentive from using it on Shabbos in order that you should sort it out before Shabbos. However, the Mishnah Berurah adds that if you forgot to fix it on Friday, you knew about it, but you forgot, then it's also hachanag is to be lenient and to allow a person to wear it in shul to avoid embarrassment. Obviously, he finds another teller, so should use another teller. Somebody wears an item of clothing, which is chayav in tzitzis, it's got four corners and doesn't put them on. So he's lost the opportunity to fulfill a mitzvah. As we know, the Torah says he only put tzitzis on a garment which has four corners. You have to be careful. There are certain kinds of garment which do in fact have four corners. If you want to not have this problem, it may be today that it's not that common to have this kind of garment because our garments tend not to have corners on them in the way that they did in past, perhaps when people wore robes and shawls and things like that. But one way we're dealing with it was to make it, to cut the corner that it was round rather than a corner, so that it was no longer a konoth. It's not enough. In kafar as a keren, if you just folded it over to furrow and you sewed it down, but so it looks as though it's a corner and it's round and it's not straight. It doesn't help. As long as you haven't yet cut it, it's still part of the garment. So if you were wearing your canvas, you're doing mitzvah, and then you're wearing on top of it another garment which potentially could be chayav in tzitzis. This is what the Kitzur is concerned with. If that's the case, one way of not having to put tzitzis on will be to cut off the corner so that it no longer has the Arba canvas. This is okay because of the fact that you are actually doing the mitzvah, because you've got Arba canvas on otherwise. But if you do have a four-cornered garment and you're wearing it, even if you're wearing Arba canvas, you still have to put the tzitzis on that garment because itself contains an obligation, because it has four corners, to put on tzitzis. Gadol Einesh Mevatel mitzvah tzitzis. Person, whole interesting concept. Person who's mevatel mitzvah tzitzis gets an einesh. So the Torah said if you have a four-cornered garment, then you have to put tzitzis on it. If you don't have a four-cornered garment, you don't have to put tzitzis on it. But if you do have a four-cornered garment and you don't put tzitzis on it, it's considered to be serious. But hazar b'mitzvah tzitzis, on the other side, a person who is careful with the mitzvah of tzitzis, he will merit to see the Pnei HaShchina, because it's connected with the idea of seeing Re'isa Ma'isai. So if we see the tzitzis, midah keneged midah, then we will be zochet to be Raya Pnei HaShchina.